The spectacular blow-up culminated in a Trump threat to cut Elon Musk's government contracts and the world's richest man sharing a social media post calling for the US president to be impeached. The Tesla boss is also claiming that the Trump administration hasn't released all of the records related to sex abuser Jeffrey Epstein because the president is mentioned in them. Well, for the very latest, let's cross live to Fraser Jackson, our correspondent in Washington, who has been following events very closely for us. Good to have you back with us again, Fraser. This really has been an extraordinary public spat. It seems to have quietened down in the last hour or so. What is the very latest?
A spat for the ages, really, Sharon. A complete public meltdown and showdown, really, between the world's richest man and the world's most powerful man. Let's set the stage and remember how we got here. Now, Donald Trump was asked about Elon Musk's opposition to his big, beautiful bill, the spending bill that he's trying to get through Congress at the moment. Elon Musk says it's going to add to the national deficit by about $2.5 trillion. And Donald Trump has pushed back against that. He said he was disappointed in Elon Musk's criticism. Elon Musk then responded to that saying whatever, but then launched an online tirade on his social media platform X, formerly known as Twitter. He even said, without me, Trump would have lost the election. Dems would control the House and the Republicans would be 51-49 in the Senate. Such ingratitude. He started digging up old tweets of Donald Trump, who was talking about balancing the budget, saying that he missed that guy. He then put a poll on his Twitter profile saying, is it time to create a new political party in America that actually represents the 80% in the middle? Now, as of going to air, that poll now has 2.1 million votes on it, and 82% of those people have said yes. Well, Trump then fired back on his own social media platform, Truth Social. He said Elon was wearing thin. I asked him to leave. Again, a massive departure from the happy families that we saw just last week in the Oval Office when Elon Musk formally left his role as a government advisor. Trump then continued, I took away his electric vehicle mandate that forced everyone to buy electric cars that nobody else wanted, that he knew for months I was going to do, and he just went crazy. Well, Musk then replied to that saying, such an obvious lie, so sad. But the biggest tweet that Elon Musk so far has produced then came around 2 or so hours into the spat. He said something about the Jeffrey Epstein files. Now, a quick history lesson on that. Jeffrey Epstein, the well-known sex abuser and trafficker, effectively, of course, his death in prison has long been the subject of conspiracy theories from people on the right. They say that he was effectively bummed off for knowing too much rather than having killed himself in prison. And the Trump administration vowed to look in and release the Jeffrey Epstein files. And when that happened around a month or so ago, they basically were a bit of a nothing burger for all the right-wing conspiracy theorists who believed there was going to be something in there. FBI Director Kash Patel also came out and said that there was nothing happening in those files. But Elon Musk then dropped a huge allegation saying, time to drop the really big bomb. Real Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason that they have not been made public. Have a nice day, DJT. Now, he then doubled down on that and said, mark this post for the future. The truth will come out. Well, since then, Musk is now calling for Trump's impeachment, unclear on what grounds he's calling for that impeachment. But the president so far has not responded to this. He posted on Truth Social once since that allegation came out, but he tried to make it more about the big, beautiful bill again and stay focused on the policy. He's not responded to those allegations. The White House, my colleagues in the White House press pool, shouted questions at the president a short while ago, asking for response. He ignored those shouted questions, and Reuters is now reporting that the White House is holding an emergency meeting about this. So this has been a huge, massive public split between the world's richest man and the world's most powerful man, and this is very, very likely not the end of the story.
And Fraser, people might be watching on horrified as events unfolded earlier. Some people might be entertained by what they've been seeing and hearing, but there could be a wider impact, couldn't there? We're already seeing that Musk's rocket company, SpaceX, is saying he'll begin decommissioning its Dragon spacecrafts. There could be consequences much wider than what we're initially speculating about tonight.
Yeah, and Sharon, that is an important point to prove as well. That kind of got lost in the kind of wider swell of tweets from Elon Musk. But if SpaceX takes away its Dragon space crew rocket ship, effectively the capsule that sends those astronauts to space, that has basically become the backbone of the American space program. They are using those Dragon capsules to get astronauts to and from the International Space Station. It basically is what NASA is kind of building its kind of future around. So if those government contracts that Donald Trump has now threatened to take away from Elon Musk, if those do indeed go away, then it's going to cost the American space race significantly. And of course, Elon Musk is now saying prematurely almost that he's basically going to take them away anyway. So a major spat and a major kind of bump in the road for the American space program, for one thing. But the other company that Elon Musk owns that also gets American subsidies is Tesla. And we're really seeing the impact of this more widely in Tesla in the more immediate term. Their stock price down 14%, worth around $150 billion worth of value that the company has lost. So a significant spat between the two men.
Fraser, for now, thank you. That is Fraser Jackson, our correspondent in Washington.